where do you want to go with this conversation? Because there's a lot of roots through all these circles.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I reference it all the time in my writing, and you pick up on it, and like I'm curious actually to go deeper with you about. I mean, as an entry point to the conversation. So in the, I think it was in the Future of Networks post or like the Snow Crash one, you wrote a a long comment that was rather hurtful at the time. It felt like, but you know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, you know what I'm talking about?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. So I guess, what just happened in my video?
I don't know. Did you hear
Weird.
anything?
Um, what the hell? Camera used by another application? No, it's not. Dude, I swear someone is out to get me. Like my stuff is like not functioning normally lately.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. It's really weird. But okay. Huh. Strange. But yeah, I'm just curious like what was going through your mind at that point cuz like you're like, you know,
Oh, I
I'm
remember the
sensing something deeper here that I can't quite put my finger on, and like the way that I interpreted it, you know, it's in text, so I can only try to be
yeah.
intuitive about the emotion behind it, but it was almost like angry that like there was something more to it that like I don't know. I guess I would love for you to expand on what you meant.
Well, I remember the post before that was I really enjoyed it. I think, and then to me it felt like a rehash, and I because you set my expectation high with the last post, I kind of was disappointed. Um, I may have been a bit harsh. I can be that way sometimes. I tend to be pretty blunt. Um, but you know, there's a lot to being honest, and I found it only brings me good things. And especially when it comes to criticism, I find that the world doesn't have enough of it that's good uh, and honest. Quite often it comes from a place of you know hurt or something, and it's just a lashing out. So if you felt like I lashed out at you, I apologize. But I was really just you know expressing my own um, at the moment, I guess, disappointment with just that particular post. Um, you know, it could have been my misinterpretation as well about what you were trying to say, and I think the eventually you commented again, and it made more sense to me after. So, you know, I think maybe there was a small misunderstanding,
Yeah.
and it quite often is what causes pain. So,
Right. Exactly right. I know communication is like our biggest challenge, which is so funny because it's like the thing that should be the most natural, but I think that the way that things are set up is to confuse and to make it very difficult for people to actually communicate in like a honest, open way. You know what I mean? Because there's like so much mediation and there's so much lies of like the way that the world is presented to us and like what is important and what should be important. You know what I mean? And like, you know, if you believe it, if you believe everything that you're told and like everything the media says, then you think like, you know, there's a certain way that you're supposed to be, which what I'm finding for myself is that in my reality, that's not the case. Like, and like you were saying, you know, by being open and honest and
you don't fit in by being open and honest.
you don't, but then it's like you kind of, it's like, it almost becomes like this leap of faith where you're like, you know what, does it matter? Like, you know, do I have to fit in with what the norm is when the norm is insanity? You know, or can I just choose to live from my own place of truth and to live from a core value system? And even if that means that like people aren't going to get it, it's fine because it's more important for me to like be happy in knowing that like I'm not living in a way that's against what I actually fundamentally believe in. You know, it's like as simple as that. It's just if I think it's a good thing to be a good person and to share with other people and to try to have